Today on episode 127 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, couple new segments. First up is Pick 3's. After that is Downtime. And then to wrap things up, we got a TCF top 3 of our favorite mid-major colleges. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans. It is episode 127, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram pages. Give those a like. Subscribe to the YouTube page for all of our content in video form. Subscribe, rate, review on Apple Podcasts. You can rate us now on Spotify. Also, you can catch all of our stuff there. You can find us on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, but also make sure to follow the guys that I'm joined with tonight. We got Zach, of course, at ZLiliaTCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Boys, we always got to start with the weather. We're recording right in the middle of a snow squall. Hand to God, never heard that term before, but here we are. This week sucked. I mean, it's the same thing over and over. It's a broken record at this point.
But I just don't understand what this is.
Yeah, literally, I looked it up, and it's snowfall, but it's a short, like.
Well, I think there's like thunder and lightning with it too. It's kind of like a thunderstorm of snow.
Yeah, just call it a snowstorm. We don't need to get technical. How many people had to Google snow squall tonight? I can't be.
I think a lot of people. Unless you were like a meteorologist, I don't think you understood what that was.
No, that was a word that smart people throw out to make us dumb people feel, put us in our place a little bit. Maddie, did you get the snowblower out this week? I'm sure you had to.
I did. Hopefully it's the last time of the year.
Well,
get back
you just
to
ruined that. You jinxed it.
Well, I mean, I don't think the squall is going to be like a accumulation of it. I think it's high wind, high snow, but like quick, not like a long-term thing. So I don't think it's going to be like a dig your ass out of this thing. I think it's just going to be like here's a bunch of ice and a lot of wind and see you fuckers later in the ditch,
Right.
I hope I don't have to get – I had just got the snowblower out today. I don't want to do it again on a Saturday. Nothing's worse than pushing snow on a Saturday.
No, it's not enjoyable at all.
Yeah, that's not a day off kind of thing, That's reserved for like a bad Tuesday night, It is what it is. That's why we chose.
I'll take that. I'll take a Tuesday night that I have to push the snow other than a Saturday afternoon.
I think I'm with you 100%. As always, let's jump into things. Sinkers and floaters. I'm going to start off. My sinker is my basement, and that is because we had a sump pump go out in the middle of the night the other night. Didn't really know it. Went downstairs to grab an energy drink to go to work on Thursday, and sure enough, we had like 3 inches of water. So that was fun to deal with. Shout out Walter Brothers Service. They got to our house pretty quick, got that sump pump fixed. And, it's one of those, everything was good. And even the sump pump was running. It's not like the sump pump died. The outside, whatever it is, poles just like froze and burned them out. So, yeah, that was fun to deal with my house.
Those are called pipes, Boomy.
Thank you. It's been a long week. I appreciate you on that one. But anywho, so that was not a lot of fun to clean up. We've got, obviously, as you can see, I've got a different background. I am recording in my upstairs office.
We started recording, and I was like, Boomy, what's up with the
you definitely don't want frozen water poles. That's just horrible.
Yeah, frozen water poles is bad.
That would
duly
be a bad
noted.
idea.
I will make sure I don't forget that. But yeah, so that we got the dehumidifiers going. We got to do some cleaning, but you know what? It could have been a lot worse. Nothing big was damaged, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you got insurance on that." I'm like, it literally ruined a couch that's like 25 years old. Not ruined, but like just enough that like we probably were going to get rid of it anyway. And I think I got like an old broken sound tower that needs to go, and like some throw rugs that are probably older than me that need to be thrown out.
Yeah, because luckily your TVs are, and you have a projector, so that was kind of perfect.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, Zach, my only electronic that got ruined was my surround sound, the box that it's on. But that's all right. I bought it from your dad like 4 years ago for $20, so I'm not out that much money. So Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse. But you know what could have been worse? You're being Aaron Rodgers because his love life stinks.
Poor
He
Shailene.
can't. I don't know what if he's just so unlovable or what it is. I don't know what's going on. But him and Shailene Woodley
That sounds right.
broke up. The engagement broken up.
Just another ring that he couldn't get, huh?
Yeah, that's very true. Hey, you said it, not me.
You know what's funny too is there's a quote like one of the celebrity like insider I saw on Twitter was saying how she was just bothered how that football occupied so much of his life and that he couldn't commit as much time to the relate. He's a fucking NFL quarterback.
She's the loser then. What are you talking about? Did you know who you were engaged to?
What fucking planet is
We're
this
competing with somebody, lady.
here? He took his job too serious? He's making like $40 million a year. He kind of needs to.
Literally,
It's kind of a big deal here. Like it's not. He's not.
Did she not
pushing
know
paper
this
staples.
going in? Did she just wake up on like last Thursday and been like, "Oh wait, my fiance is a football player"?
The guy's not middle management at like it's some bullshit business. It's just like I don't know, wild thought that you would expect Aaron Rodgers to commit more time to his relationship as he's evidence to treat his family members so well in his past over football.
Wikipedia somebody.
Yeah.
Unlovable, some would say.
Well, now he's got an extra chip on his shoulder. I'm definitely going to get my bet in early on the Packers to win the Super Bowls. There's no way this comes back to bite in the ass.
He has to be on the Packers first, Boomy.
He will be, and the fact that you still think he's not is still hilarious. Maddie, I know you got a sinker for
I don't
us.
think he will be.
I do have a sinker for you guys, and my kid's getting to that age where he likes using an iPad to like play some games and stuff. He's really big into puzzles, like just regular, big ass floor puzzles, whatever. They have some online now, obviously some digital versions, and he likes trains and tractors and trucks and all that stuff. And they have some puzzles that you actually build, like and assemble, like a train and all this stuff, and you move on to the next level. Well, all these next levels, require money and a subscription, because these free games that take you get like 10% of the game fucking unlocked, and then you got to pay a monthly subscription to be able to play this game to entertain your kid for 20 minutes a day. 2, then if you don't pay it, it's an ad every 7 seconds, and the kid's screaming at the top of his lungs to get the ad off because they bury like the little X, like a white X in a white background, 3/4 of the page down.
They make it impossible to find.
You can't find it. The game's sound is playing over the ad. The kid's going absolutely bananas because he just wants to build his locomotive. And it's like, okay, fine, I will pay the fucking They drive you nuts to the point you have to pay the $2.99 just to get some sanity. So that they prey on sanity. So I think that's bullshit. Yeah. That's my sinker for the week.
They know what they're doing.
It's bullshit.
Feels like something should be illegal.
It is. It's crazy, but they're millionaires for a reason.
You ain't lying.
I don't hate it at all. I mean, I respect the hustle. I hate it for you, Maddie, but
yeah, it's just like I'm going to end up having to pay I'm going to need that one app that gets pushed on all those podcasts that about where they run your subscriptions every month. It's going to be 39 different $2.99 charges on Apple fucking games.
Yeah, exactly. Most people got they're in it to get Spotify and, Netflix. Maddie's check out for Puzzle
I bought myself
Builder
19 minutes of sanity a day.
Can you really put a price on that?
No. $2.99.
I guess so. Fair enough. Moving into our floaters, I'm going to start off with mine, and that is college baseball. God knows when we're going to get MLB back. Today is opening day of college baseball, and it was announced late last week. The ESPN family of networks would be broadcasting 2,200 games this year. 200 games on the regular ESPN and ESPN2. I came home tonight a little bit earlier than most, and I listened to a podcast, shout out 11.7 podcast. It's a college baseball podcast run by guys who used to play. But I've been really getting in the mood for that with God. Like I said, who knows what's going to happen with the MLB. So I flipped on. I was watching Nebraska and Sam Houston State. Maryland and Baylor. It's just, one of those times, like, we'll talk a lot about, football being over and, what you can use to kind of fill that void. But if you have anything like Hulu Live, ESPN Plus, there's tons of games to watch, and there's games on every night. So I love college baseball. And if you're looking for something, it's going to be accessible. It's kind of like hockey, how the hockey pass was on ESPN. So it's definitely there. So check it out if you catch, some familiar names in your when you're scrolling through Hulu Live or something.
This time of year, people are always looking for something to watch because you love the NBA and the NHL. No baseball right now, so they say college baseball it's always fun to watch, and especially now with regular base or with MLB being postponed for who knows how long. I think college baseball will get a little bit more exposure this year than most.
Definitely. And like I said, if you like it at all, check out 11.7. I don't know much. I don't know many of the players' names. Obviously, I know like the teams and who's good and all that stuff from watching the College World Series over all the years. But like they go into, who are the best, rated guys and, on different teams. And, that's kind of the reason the teams I chose tonight was they were talking about them yesterday when I was listening. So, I think it'll be interesting to see how long, college baseball can hold out, and be kind of the top baseball dog right now with, who knows what happened in the MLB. So I'll be tuning in a lot.
Especially with the aluminum bats, those scores can be very high.
Yeah, one of the top rated teams, I can't remember if it was Oregon State or Stanford. Somebody won like 23-1 today.
Yeah, it's always fun because especially what they said with the aluminum bats, it can be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. That different sound.
Yeah, you're not if you can find a line somewhere. It's not like you're playing unders in those games.
I've been trying so hard. I even Googled, and you couldn't. No one has them right now.
Yeah, you might be able to see some weekend lines maybe at some point in the fall, or in the spring, but or later in the spring, I should say. When they start getting some of the conference tournament or conference matchups being played on the weekends and stuff like that.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
My floater is snow blowers. I used it today. We've been talking about it a lot on the podcast. I am not a fan of shoveling snow, and this is like the first year I've really used a snow blower. It is amazing. It is amazing. I don't know what I would be without it. I would be, I don't know, passed out on my driveway probably trying to push snow.
Hey, they don't call that wet, heavy snow. They don't call that heart attack snow for a reason,
Yeah, that's true.
So I think everyone should be able to get an affordable snowblower.
I was going to go snowblower this year because, like Zach, how long my driveway's not super long, but like it's also not super short by any stretch. I was going to go snowblower, but I skipped that step and just went to paying some kid to plow my driveway. I said, screw it. It's just
unfortunately, if I did that, it would be very lazy because I just have a pretty small driveway.
Yeah, I would definitely think that if you did that to yours, that Matt, yours is about the same length as Zach. So, it's if you had a service out there plowing your 40 feet of driveway, I'd probably think a little differently of Zach.
No, it's perfect. My snowblower is perfect for my driveway and the sidewalks. It's just it's perfect size for it.
Yeah. I just went. I
20-minute job, no stress, no issue plowing through, 8 inches of snow or so. It's not a problem.
See, and I think even with my driveway, even if I had a good snow blower, I think we're still talking at least 45 minutes, an hour at least. But just said screw it.
Well, your problem be the wind.
Yeah, because by the time I get done, then it would be time to go back over it anyway, and then it would blow it the wrong way. It's a nightmare. But what are you going to do?
Hopefully it doesn't snow.
Amen, brother. Matt, you got a floater for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go. This one's just going to be a quick one. It's retirement, and it's my dad. It's actually his last day of work was today. So
good for him.
Shout out to my dad retiring after it'd be 36 years with this company and about 50 years or so in the vending business. So shout out to him. He finally made it to the end. So
that's awesome.
All the fun parts after today. So, pretty happy for him. And
hopefully he's celebrating it somewhere warm.
He actually No, he went on a golf trip into Florida last week. So like he took a week off before his retirement, and then came back for the last week to tidy up.
I bet he was real productive this week.
I think he was ultra productive. He actually had the same issue as you did this morning. He woke up with 6 inches of water in his basement from the hot water heater too. So he didn't even make it in until about until about noon on his last day. It's like a real slacker.
Happy retirement.
Yeah. So shout out him on that one.
Hey, at least he's got all day this weekend and Monday to fix it.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
Yeah, I think he got it taken care of, but still, rough way to start your last day of work.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he'll take some notes from my dad. My dad bought a new truck, new golf clubs, and then went to like Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, and just golfed for like 35 straight days, like after he retired. So very jealous of both of them. So let's hop in to the TCF Sports Minute. We got to start off last weekend, the Super Bowl, Rams coming out champs. Let's start it first, guys. What were your thoughts on the game? It wasn't.
It was an
Do we classify
game.
it as a good game?
It was a close game.
I wouldn't say it was a well-played game, but it was an entertaining game.
Very well said. Very well said. Obviously, we all had the over. None of us hit on that.
Nope.
But it was, like you said, entertaining. And I do think that there's something to be said with, it kind of cleans it up late, as far as like people talking about how good the game was when there's like thrilling action in the final 2 minutes. And we could, sit and piss and moan about all the flags, but the last 2 minutes of the game was absolutely thrilling.
What I would say is my biggest thing is the Bengals may not just be back in this game magically again. You know what I mean? Like the Chiefs are going to be good. The Bills are going to be good. Like the AFC is good.
Yes.
I mean, don't forget you gotta expect some growth from a guy like Trevor Lawrence.
I'm not saying that the Bengals aren't going to be good, but to think, they lost the game, they'll be back. Like
Pittsburgh's not going anywhere. Baltimore's not going anywhere. The Raiders are going to be good.
The AFC is going to be good for a while, and
the Patriots are the Patriots.
So, I think.
And Zach, to that point, did you see the list of all of the quarterbacks that failed to get back to one after losing their first appearance? I mean, it's a staggering list, and you don't want to put that out there, but like you said, the power of the AFC, makes that a little bit concerning for the Bengals going forward. Let's not forget
we didn't mention the 1 seed Titans, or also another quarterback in Justin Herbert too.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
this team was 10-7, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like they were beating down, everybody all year. They got there by a great playoff run. I think that's a good point to be made, Zach.
They lost the Bears.
That is true.
Yeah. Like going back to that when they lost to the Eagles
and the Packers.
Like, no, we didn't lose to the Packers that year.
No. Matt said the Bengals lost to the Packers, and I said, or the Bears, and I said so did the Packers.
Well, yeah. So like with the Bears, like you only have a fully healthy team. With the Bears they had Mitch Trubisky then, but you only have so many chances.
Right.
Football is so hit and miss. And especially even with the Rams. Like, who knows if the Rams are going to be back in this position because they went all in, but guess what? They won.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think that was it Stan Kroenke did the T-shirt he was wearing? Did you see that at the parade?
Yeah, it's true. Like the Bengals can hang up the AFC Championship banner, but what does it really matter? In a way, it's awesome to get there, but you got to win it all.
Absolutely, the banners fly forever.
And also Joe Burrow. I really like Joe Burrow, but you got to bring a change of clothes.
Very true.
You can't wear that. You can't wear that suit and hat out after losing.
Yeah, that's a tough look. And like people were like kind of clowning on him for the Kid Cudi concert. Like, that,
oh no, I don't care about that. I mean, that's a team event. Like you just lost. I mean, what are you gonna do? Go sit in your room and cry?
Yeah, that's why I think it was someone on Redline. They were like, "What? You want him to go sit and grind out film till 2 a.m? Like the guy's like 24 years old. Like leaving that.
He just finished off a long football season. Like he popped his knee pretty good that game. He probably just wanted to get fucking loaded. That's like give the guy a break.
But
Absolutely.
maybe bring like a nice pair of jeans and a t-shirt to wear out if you lose.
Yeah, that would help. You don't want to. I thought the fit was good. I just
It
don't
was a
think
good
on
fit. I really
on
liked it.
on the way
Walking
out
in,
after a loss is tough.
yeah, if you walk out with the W and the trophy, that's a really sweet
It's a tough
suit.
look.
How'd you guys do gambling? I know Zach was set on the touchback, didn't or no touchback, and it unfortunately was. How was the gambling night
But
for
it was
everybody?
blue
I ended up,
Gatorade. It was blue Gatorade, which Boomy said there was no chance.
well, I cut the night completely even. I hit the one about a non QB throwing a touchdown, and then after that was I took Rams -6.5, -13.5.
I ended up live betting them a bunch.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning of the fourth quarter, so that's where I won a bunch of money on that.
Okay.
Because I had OBJ first touchdown too.
I remember that was a big one.
So I had a little bit of a bankroll from that, and then I live bet the Rams. I
was heavy on. I hit a live Rams flash prop for turnover on their fifth drive. Was the pick that they threw into the end zone in the first half. I hit that one big, and then I hit. I was heavy on Cooper Kupp any touchdown. So that hit.
Fellas,
I also had Odell Beckham first touchdown, so that was also.
Ooh,
I love it. I think we need to have an investigation here.
And a very heavy Cincy +4, as I think I was the only one on the show.
Which
yes,
good
you
job.
were. Also,
I had defensive. 1 second. I had defensive lineman +1,000. I had Aaron Donald. He should have won MVP.
Yes, he should have.
Or they should at least wait until the end of the game to vote for it. Because I've heard that the voting is done before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's insane that they still do that with the amount of money that was on the table there.
Yeah.
I did have the over 2.5 players with a pass attempt as well that Big Cat was pushing out.
And what was it? It was 4 people.
Plus 150, and it ended up being 4.
Yeah, that's like I said, I cut it even, so I can't complain too much. And it is what it is. But it was
a good game.
Exactly, it was a competitive game, like
with
Matt
a great halftime show.
Sad that football's over. Great halftime show.
Yep. Before we go on, Matt, I know you had to have loved the halftime show like me, right?
The halftime show was fucking high school, junior high, high school, and early college for me. So that was wheelhouse of all wheelhouses for me. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was, if it's not the best halftime show, it's in the team picture, that's for sure.
Okay, so that's a good point, Matt. And I said the same thing. I personally say it's my favorite halftime show of all time. And everybody and their brother loves to go, well, Prince's was so good.
My favorite part about it is you pissed off two ends of the spectrum. You pissed off the kids that are like 25 and under, and you pissed off anybody that's over 45 too. Like those people, by the way, the people who are like, oh, what is this garbage on my TV? Those people, it's the same thing you did to your parents. Don't forget that, all right? Just don't forget that. It's the same thing you did when you were listening to Zeppelin, the Stones, and everybody like that. And I'm not hating on them. Those are some of my favorite bands too. But it's the same thing you did to your parents. So don't act any holier than thou, because get this garbage off my TV, this rap crap. See that dad joke one more time, I'm going to blow my brains out.
Yes, thank you, Matty. You nailed it. Also to add,
get
to
off
that, like
my
I said,
lawn, old man yelling at the cloud, all of it wrapped in one. Go away.
Everybody that says, "Oh, Prince's was so good," and I'm not saying that Prince didn't put on a great show, but like, listen,
Prince got
I was born
by rain during Purple Rain. You just don't draw that up any better.
I agree, but like, and I think it was Dakota Mekish made this point. He said that Queen's last album came out in 1986. I was born in 1990. Okay, I'm not like going out of my way to listen to Prince. It's just. It was great. It was a good performance, but like this is music that like I grew up listening to.
Like for me too, like Kendrick Lamar is one of the few like current rappers like I genuinely know, like, and kind of listen to some of their music, like some of his music. He's one of the few. So like adding him, and I know he's from Compton too, so obviously there's a natural fit with Snoop and Dre and the whole West Coast kind of crew. But I don't know. I just thought it flowed really well. everybody ripping on 50 Cent. Give the dude a break.
Yeah.
Come on.
That song came out in 2003. Like all of us didn't weigh significantly less in 2003.
Yeah, no
all right?
kidding. Let's look in the mirror ourselves before we start, the whole glass house throwing stones kind of idea. But, I thought it was a great show. I thought it did exactly what everybody wanted. One more thing for me that I think it was the New York Post complaining about Snoop, shocked that he would smoke weed before he was walking on, just floored that somebody,
in a state where it's legal.
in a state where it's legal. But like the New York Post, have they ever talked well about Willie Nelson? Because I think if anybody's been as more publicly advocate for marijuana use as Willie Nelson, I'm sure the New York Post has never castrated Willie Nelson like they tried to do to Snoop. On that one. That was bullshit.
Also, they should have printed another headline that said "Breaking news: The Pope is Catholic." Like, what are we talking about here? What are we doing?
Snoop Dogg. Like, what? If he wasn't, I'd be bothered because the show probably wouldn't have been as good.
That's a great point. That is a great point. Before we move into the Bulls, I got to ask real quick. Let's leave all of our teams out of it. Bears and Packers, leave them out. Way too quick, early Super Bowl prediction. Who's winning the Super Bowl a year from now?
The Bills.
Maddie?
Man, I didn't even have this question just on my
Or the 49ers because they'll have Aaron Rodgers.
You're so funny.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna go because the Bills would have been mine, but if Zach took the Bills, so I can't say the Bills. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I think Dak Prescott gets it done. They've got the weapons, and if they can get over Mike McCarthy being a horrendous coach. I mean, they've got talent on both sides of the ball. They really do. And I think Dak Prescott showed a lot of things. If he can kind of get past that dip he had in the second half of the year where he kind of came back to earth a little bit and play a little bit more like he did the first half of the season, I think they'll be they'll be ready to roll. They got playmakers everywhere.
I dig that pick. I will go. I hate doing it. I think the came back out of the AFC and in the NFC.
I think that's another kind of default pick, like a chalk pick, but not that I'm not ripping on it in any way. I think you get the motivated Mahomes factor is huge there.
I will give my little dark horse though. It comes out of the same division. I think the Arizona Cardinals, if they can figure this Kyler Murray situation out, I kind of like the Cardinals next year coming out of the NFC West.
They have to prove that they can win at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But a lot of good quarterbacks.
Depending on what the Raiders land to, I think they could be a very sneaky team too.
That was a team that jumped into my mind too. I don't hate that at all either. Let's get into some Chicago stuff here. We got the All-Star break for the Bulls. They are tied for first in the East, 38-21, and we have some reinforcements coming. Allegedly, Tristan Thompson will be signing with the Bulls when he clears waivers.
That's huge.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? I mean, Tristan Thompson, he's
exactly
a dirtbag,
what the Bulls need. Yeah, you know what? The character of
I had
even finished my sentence,
yes, I agree.
It's not what I think about.
He's not a good person, but I don't care.
Yeah, he likes to fool around. But you know what he can do? He can play center for the Bulls. Is what he can do. He can be the big man that the Bulls need. We need a big man with Patrick Williams hopefully going to be back, and Vooch trying to play the big man at sometimes. And then I know Jones, Derek Jones Jr., Tony Bradley, they've been playing well.
If I never had to see Tony Bradley again, I'd be okay with that.
But Tristan Thompson is an all-star.
Yeah.
Right? I'm pretty sure he
was an all-star. Wait.
Well, whatever. Was an all-star. But I still think he could be good.
And also, Zach, going along with that.
They just need him to play 20, 25 minutes of decent basketball.
Yeah, and even if it's not that many minutes, but give Vooch a little bit of a blow here.
15,
yeah,
20.
Exactly. And also, Zach, I think that the big thing here is I don't think the Bulls are going to be on the hook for a lot of this contract. I think Sacramento's still paying out the ass for that. Yeah. So if the Bulls are going to bring him in cheap.
Yeah, it was a buyout.
Yeah.
So he's which with the money really doesn't matter with this Bulls team. It's not like they're really other than like DeRozan, there's not a lot of huge contracts. Maybe
Right,
Levine.
but I'm just saying you don't want to take
Right, I
a
know what you
small
mean.
guy.
Levine and Vooch make money, but they're built to they're all locked up. They're not
Oh,
going
yeah.
like they've got the court set for 3 years, I think it is.
And
so.
they didn't have to give anybody up, so that's the biggest thing.
I
Definitely.
think they got Kobe White for another 2 locked up, but outside of that, I think everybody else is at 3+. So
I'm almost completely gone off of what I said earlier in the year, and that was wait till Kobe White gets good and then trade him. Obviously, the trade deadline's gone, but I don't want Kobe White gone. He's playing so well. I think he had 31 the other night.
he gives you another element off the bench because he can start. He's a starting caliber guard in the NBA as far as just like. I'm not saying like on a title team, but there's teams that would love to have a guy like that on in their backcourt. And when you can bring him off the bench to play 20, 25 minutes, there's just not that huge drop off from your first team to second team. It's perfect. Get him and Ayo. You get him and Ayo when you got Levine and Ball healthy on on your first group. It's just like there's a drop off, obviously, but it's not like other teams face.
Right. And at the end of the day, Kobe White's still 23 years old.
Right.
Still
not like he can't get better.
Yeah, I still don't see a whole lot of downside to that. So sitting here at the All-Star break, are you guys are we willing to say that the Bulls are where they thought they were? Because I think they've truly exceeded any expectations.
Oh, they've exceeded expectations. Who would have thought they'd be in first place in the East? We'll tie for first. They're still going to have Levine hasn't played the last few games. They'll get Levine back after the break. They'll get Caruso back at some point. They'll get Lonzo Ball back. They just got Tristan Thompson. They'll hopefully get Patrick Williams back. You think about how dangerous this team can be going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and how good this team has been touting guys out, like Troy Brown Jr.
But the schedule does get pretty difficult here after the All-Star break. But that's why they took care of business before the All-Star break.
Yeah, and I think these are conversations that we have all had, like a year ago or 2 years ago when they could, not beat the bottom of the barrel teams because, quite frankly, they were one of the bottom of the barrels. But like last year, I felt like there was times where, they'd knock off a big opponent and then they'd go lose to, Cleveland or something like that when they were down last year. So it's like one of those, you took care of business. You're knocking down the little guys. You're taking, care of that stuff. But now they have to focus on being able to go out and be a team that's going to be a top 4 seed because that's what you're going to see, come playoffs. Because they haven't fared very well against the next best 8 teams when it comes to standings, the best 4 in the East and the best 4 in the West. So I think if they start focusing on that and get, like you said, get guys healthy, we're good to go. Maddie, anything else on the Bulls?
No, it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know that if they're the best team or the top, 2 or 3, but you'd rather be where they are in the East right now than like the Nets, who are still, scraping, trying to, the Nets have to win games, and the Bulls have a little slack, because like Zach said, they did play so well early on in the year, and they gave themselves that little, extra slack right now. So
and
focus on getting healthy.
The Nets are going to still have to learn how to play together.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that move worked. I think it's a move they both had to make, and I get why they did it. I just don't know that it makes either team any more of a title threat than they were before. If that makes sense. Maybe Philly, just because they weren't getting anything from Simmons.
Yeah,
but
they were
gave up too.
They were getting no productivity from somebody, and now they're going to get at least something.
Right, but they were, at least Seth Curry was playing well for them, and those picks just eventually, there's still something. You look at what you get with Ayo, in the second round. You can't tell me picks don't matter when you see guys that are producing anymore. There's a lot of guys producing in the latter half of the first round and early second round, way more than it ever seemed to be. So I don't think you can just throw those picks away anymore.
Definitely. On the other side of the United Center, we have the Blackhawks 18-25-7. Only real big thing coming. Lucas Reichel's coming back up to the Blackhawks. Maddie, where are you at with the Hawks? I talked to Zach about this the other day. I think I've watched 2 Hawks games, man. I just can't. I'd rather watch college baseball right now than the Blackhawks.
It's just, it sucks. They dug themselves way too big of a hole to start the year that no matter how well they were to play, it does. You just really can't get yourself out of it. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the trade deadline, who they deal. There's talk of a potential first rounder for Brandon Hagel, and that's just. I've heard Chiefs take about that. He's not necessarily a fan of it, but if you're giving up Hagel for a late first rounder, I get the reasoning. But I don't know. Is Brandon Hagel going to make a contender before that guy starts getting paid $4 million a year? So I think I just don't want to get in one of those spots where if he's plateaued, then you need to deal him now. If you think he's going to get better, then fine. Keep him for another year, maybe trade him next year and hope you can get an even better first rounder for him, or more. Outside of that, I don't think they're going to be trading to Brinken. It doesn't sound like Taves and Kane are going anywhere. Maybe Connor Murphy, maybe McCabe. I don't know. Maybe Fleury. We'll see. It sounds like the Vegas Knights might be in on him. So I think at this point, you just got to start worrying about building. Because Leonard's hurt. So
I know, but how wild would that be? How wild would that be? They traded him away and then want him back.
Yeah, he loved it there, and they loved him. It's just they chose Leonard essentially. But
apparently he likes Chicago a lot too, though.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And then apparently he's open to staying past this year, which is interesting. So
yeah,
I don't know. If they played this way throughout October and early November, it'd be a different team. I think they come out certain nights with a little bit less punch than they would if they still had a chance. So, if they had a better record, maybe they'd be getting a little bit better effort on some of these games in, mid-February when their season's basically done. So, yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but, Colleton ruined them, Bowman ruined them, and the franchise front office has done them no favors in the morale department. So, it's like at some point you just need this bad nightmare to end.
Yeah, exactly. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Zach,
have
you
lost tonight in a shootout, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Zach, have you been big on the Blackhawks lately? I know you slowly turning back more into college basketball. Have you been dabbling in
it's tough to watch. I mean, they're on the third TV every once in a while, but like you said, it's tough to watch and see. Maybe they win a few games, they get in shootouts and stuff to what they should have been if they would have started off the season right. But then they fire the coach and everything happens. So there's just not much to this Blackhawks team this year. And it's just tough with everything going on with the organization. It's tough to cheer for them too.
Definitely. And Matt, for all of the idiots out there that don't know when the NHL trade deadline, do you happen to know when that is?
Trade deadline, I believe, is the first week of March. So let me double check. I'll get you.
We all knew that.
Exact date here.
know there's people out there that didn't.
Wait, no, it is. It's never mind. I think it's March 21st. It says. That seems late.
I would have never. March 21st, 2022. I think is what I'm seeing. Yeah. I would have never known.
I thought it was late February, early March usually. So that's a little bit later.
So, okay, Matt, tell me this like I'm stupid. This shouldn't be hard. But the NBA has the trade deadline and then the All-Star break. The NHL is the opposite. Is there I don't understand why they're so
way
very
after the
different.
All-Star game.
What'd you say?
The NHL is way after the All-Star
game. Way
after
it.
It's almost like right before the playoffs.
Matt, is there a rationale behind that?
I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
You're asking for rationale from the NHL. I don't think you're going to get it.
I think trade deadline should be much closer to playoff time.
Yeah, it's like MLB is early August, and I mean playoffs start, but we're talking now. I mean, I just feel it. That's just weird. I don't know. I just have a dumb brain, and that just struck me as weird. Before we move on to anything else, we got to talk a little baseball. Obviously, as we talked about earlier, the MLB is in a lockout. They did announce that there will not be spring training, or at least it'll be delayed. So let's all just take a close guess here. When does everybody think that the MLB opening day will be?
Hopefully before June 1st.
I was going to say June 1st was my guess.
That was my guess, too.
I think we'd be lucky if we get it before June 1st.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That sounds awful, but they're nowhere. They had a 15-minute meeting the other day.
15 minutes.
Not
15
an
minutes.
hour and 15 minutes.
It must have been
And
very
they keep
productive.
going on about how
And
they
it
want,
seems like they're
want
not even
baseball
close.
to happen. They don't want to lose any baseball of the baseball season. But then you do that. Like, how am I supposed to believe you?
Yeah, it's a disaster. I have
As
also
Frank
this
the
like,
Tank would say, Rob Manfred.
yeah, I'm also getting this like bad omen feeling that like we're gonna have it on like 4th of July, which is just makes me sick.
Well, you
That's
think
over
about it,
half
even
the
once
season.
the season starts back up, how many free agents are still left to sign?
Yeah, it's not like those guys are gonna be ready
If it-
right away.
If they skip a very good, like a large portion of the season, I don't know that baseball recovers as we know it. I really don't. That could be
I
very
agree.
detrimental
Yes, because
because
it's already a sport
there's
that has
too
been
many other
kind of
options. There's
a
too many other
sport that's
options
been
out
kind
there.
of on the, I wouldn't say it's on the downfall, but
No, it is.
people have been saying how it's boring to watch, it's hard to watch. But then when you eliminate the off season, you eliminate the beginning of the spring training, which everyone loves to go down to. My sister's supposed to go down to Arizona.
My dad had
Yeah,
season
your
tickets
dad had
down there.
season tickets. Like all these people that plan around spring training, and that's how they get to know teams. You're just ruining that for everybody.
Yeah, if
All
you
because
guys
of what? Because of what? Some money? I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, billionaires. Yeah, it's just
But it's not even
frustrating.
the players and owners fighting; it's the owners fighting with the owners. And
Yes.
so
It's the
just
owners fighting with the commissioner.
it's
It's a
I don't know.
disaster. And
It's not a good place for a sport that's already suffering.
Yes,
Put it that way.
very true.
Very sad. Let's hope it's before June 1st, like we're all thinking right now.
I
We've
mean,
got some new
the
segments.
The NFL is a year-long sport at this point with the
Oh, 100%.
off-season news and moving and shaking. The NBA is becoming the same way. The NBA plays until into June. You know, at that point, you're a month and a half away from training camp. So it's not like you need baseball to bridge some gap anymore.
Yeah, and like you said, being year round, I've already looked at like mock drafts for the NFL draft coming up this year. So you're not wrong; it is 100% year round. But we've got some new segments. But before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. They have the best coffee around that you can find. They work with Dom Frederick, our guy Ian Happ. Zach loves it, so it's good stuff. They wouldn't drink coffee if they didn't love it. Make sure to check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. Just keep your eye out on all their social medias for big stuff coming here soon. And shout out to Connect Roasters Coffee. All right, boys, I got a new segment. I love these kinds of things on the internet, and I know that you guys are, we love having debates and discussions and sometimes arguments. So I got some of these pick threes, okay? And the first one we're going to do, and we've all talked about this about a million times, that we're big food guys. So it says you can only keep three. All right, you can only keep three of these. So I'm going to give you 9 options, and you can keep 3. Taco Bell, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, Subway, McDonald's, Arby's, Wendy's, and Panda Express. Which 3 are you keeping, Zach?
McDonald's,
Knew that was coming.
Wendy's, and Subway.
Fair. You're not a Taco Bell guy, huh?
Nope.
Can we all agree that Panda Express kind of sucks?
I like Panda Express, but I wouldn't go there for every meal.
I have to agree to disagree. I cannot stand Panda Express. I don't know what it is. Just doesn't do it for me. Are there any others on this list that you don't like? You just flat out don't like, Zach?
I'm not a big Arby's guy. Nor am I a Burger King guy.
Bad take. Both of those have crawled back into my good graces. Arby's has been on fire lately. I love Arby's right now. Matt, I'll throw it to you. Which 3 are you picking, or are there any that you're permanently throwing away forever?
Yeah, the 3 that I'm gonna kill in the MFK game is gonna be Burger King, Subway, and probably Panda. Those would be the 3 I would just immediately remove.
Okay. What do you got against Subway?
I mean, everything. I can't stand Subway.
Oh, you too good for Subway? You a Jimmy John's guy? You a Jersey Mike's guy? You a Quiznos guy?
Jersey Mike's all the way. Jersey Mike's is incredible.
It's called variety, Matt, and that's what Subway has.
It's called variety of what's in the meat at Subway. That's the problem.
I didn't ask questions about what's in. If it tastes good and I've got variety, what more do I need to know?
The sliminess factor. One thing I do like at Subway though is their cookies. I will say that I like their cookies.
That is true.
Can't go wrong with
Elite
those.
cookies.
My 3 though, I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna ride with Zach on 2 of them. Is McDonald's and Wendy's. I think the versatility of McDonald's is the breakfast, lunch, dinner combos. It's hard to top what they have. Wendy's, their food's it's become very, very good in my opinion. But the numero uno on this list, I think, is Chick-fil-A. From a quality price point. The people are ultra nice. The Chick-fil-A sauce, the Polynesian sauce, they don't skimp you. They don't limit you to one packet of sauce. They give you, if you want 3 sauces, you get 3 sauces. Like, you just get what you want. They're nice to you, and it's awesome food.
I'm going to have to try it again because I've went to Chick-fil-A one time, and I thought it was the most overrated thing I've ever eaten in my life.
I love
Chick-fil-A. You went one time.
One time.
It's very, very good.
See, fast food, Boomer, you can't just go one time and say that's what it is because it's fast food.
Well, every other time I've tried to go, it was either closed on a Sunday or there was a line, 40 cars line, and I'm not waiting in that. So no thanks.
40 cars line?
Yeah, 40 cars in the line.
There we go.
Listen, again, for the second time, it's been a long week. Kiss my ass, all right?
What's yours, Boomy?
Mine's easy. Taco Bell, Subway, and Burger King. That was easy.
No.
Yeah, well, I was between because I really do like Popeyes, but they're not very accessible, so I don't eat a ton of it. But
Burger King is like instant acid reflux for me. It is like just I don't know. There's something.
Taco Bell is instant. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
see, I built up an iron stomach over the years.
Taco Bell's tomorrow morning is a disaster thing.
Yes.
I grew up in a Burger King household. My dad might be the biggest Burger King fan I've ever met, so we didn't have much of a choice.
Your brother is too.
I love Burger King. Whoppers are so much better, and like the flame broiled, their burgers are just better than McDonald's. Now I will say that the quality, depending on which one you go to, because there are some very shady Burger Kings, but there's also some shady, everything on this list. But with that being said, I think I'm just like, it's more of like a nostalgic effect. I like Burger King. Subway is elite. I probably eat at Subway more than anywhere. And Taco Bell. I'm just a big Taco Bell fan. And I think I've just built up an iron stomach to Taco Bell over the years. It doesn't affect me anymore. So, I don't hate any of these except for Panda Express. I would eat all of these except for Panda Express. See you later. Let's move in. We're going to do one more pick 3, and this one is a little bit different. There's actually quite a few choices. And Zach, are you going to be able to throw these up on the screen when we put this out?
Yeah, I can throw it up. I'll try.
Okay. It's actually quite a few movies, and you get one from each row. So I'm not going to go through because there are 24 movies. So we'll put it up here on the screen. We've all got access to it. We got to pick one from each row going across. And these are the ultimate sports movies we've got to pick. So does anybody want to go first?
I'll go Major League. So I pick one from each row?
One from each row. So like the like an A, B, C, D, E, then the 1, 2, 3's, then the A, B, C's on the bottom.
I'm going to go Remember the Titans, Major League, Happy Gilmore.
Okay. Fair enough. Matt, do you want to go or do you want me to?
Like Space Jam, I almost said Space Jam. But...
Yeah, Space Jam was a close one. I agree there.
Rudy, also one of the most overrated movies.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Sorry,
for me, row 1 is it's a 4-way battle, and it's the last 4 in the row. Little Giants, The Program, Varsity Blues, and Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
that's an afternoon. An afternoon to evening. Just 4 great football movies, 4 totally different football movies, like all 4 of them. But if I had to pick one of those, I'm gonna probably go with Man,
Do it.
I'm gonna. It's Varsity Blues in that row, and that's a hard pick. It's a hard pick, and I'm going with it. Row 2 is a lock for me, and it's with Zach again. It's Major League. Row 3, I've got a two-way battle, and it's the first two. It's Caddyshack and White Men Can't Jump. I'm gonna take Caddyshack, but I'm gonna also steal White Men Can't Jump and bring that in my pocket where no one's looking.
Fair. I like that. I respect that. I love both of those. I'm going to go a little different here. I'm going to go Friday Night Lights in the first row.
It was better Varsity Blues at the end of the day for me.
Matt, I have terrible vision. Is the one in the top left Any Given Sunday?
Yeah.
That would have been my second choice. That's what I thought it was, but I couldn't say 100%.
Great speech before the final game.
The 6 inches in front of your face. Isn't that what it is?
You're going to die for that inch.
Yes. Oh, that's phenomenal.
That's
that was a great movie.
Living and dying. Are you willing to die for that inch?
Oh, what a movie. The second row is a very easy one, and that's Field of Dreams. Not even close on anything else in that row. It's my favorite baseball movie.
Choice. It's Major League. You're correct.
Major League is so good.
No, I like Major League, but I like Field of Dreams more.
I also like Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Fair. We had a gun to our heads. We had to pick one. And then third row, this is easy. This is the easiest one. Hoosiers, best basketball.
Yeah, I knew your basketball coach ass was gonna take Hoosiers.
Oh, what a phenomenal movie.
I like the movie. I think it's a good movie, but maybe a little overrated.
Possibly.
I don't even think that's the best Rocky movie on there, and I also don't think.
I've never seen a Rocky movie. It never will.
What?
Yep.
Matt, hand to God, I've never seen a Rocky movie either.
Oh.
I don't know.
It just kind of missed me.
Okay.
Let's see. Any other in these?
I'm not a huge Sylvester Stallone guy. I'm not a huge Sylvester Stallone guy.
You guys might want to find a new host going forward. I'm just going to say that.
I had a feeling that was coming. Are there any in this?
Watch Rocky 4. If you're not going to do anything, just watch Rocky 4.
All right, that's our homework.
If you can't be entertained by Rocky 4, then I literally have nothing for you.
I have got shots up at Hoosier, where they filmed Hoosier, so I am.
The Hoosier gym.
Space Jam.
Is there any?
Always a great.
Hey, also confession time. Never saw Jerry Maguire. I don't like Tom Cruise movies, so.
Sandlot in row 2 is interesting. Bad News Bears is interesting.
Little Giants is one of the best.
Yeah, the program is. I think Matt said that one. The program is amazing.
Really, the only movie that I don't like on here would be Rudy. I'm just not a big fan.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't dislike.
That never happened, did it? That never happened.
The whole Jersey thing.
Well, the play he made.
No, he actually did make that play, but the whole yeah. You can look up his stats on his Wikipedia.
And then they carried him off the field.
That's I think is fabricated, and the whole team going in and laying their jersey down. I'm pretty sure that was all fabricated too. So, other than that, I think I've seen everything on here. Never saw Jerry Maguire, and I never saw Rocky. Which
bottom left?
Yeah, that's bottom left.
Great movie.
The original Bad News Bears is good. The one with what's his name?
Have you guys seen White Men Can't Jump?
Oh yeah, that's a phenomenal movie.
Zach, if you haven't seen that, then please watch that. Even though
I don't think I have watched that.
White Men Can't Jump, you actually will like. I guarantee.
What year was that made?
91-ish.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, I think.
Phenomenal movie. Absolutely phenomenal movie.
Any others? I think that's all of them on here. We'll do a couple more of these next week. We got Hostess snacks and some dinner time choices for the top 3.
You ever see these? They're all over Facebook and
Twitter. And if you guys find any good ones, just send them our way.
We also donated money to a Nigerian prince to obtain half of these. So.
For sure. All right, let's move into another new segment, and that is downtime. We talked that the NFL season is now over, so we're each going to bring in 3 things that we want to watch on Netflix, Hulu, whatever we've been on in the football off season, and especially obviously we have college basketball and the NBA and NHL and all that, but no football. always means a little bit more Netflix. So what are some things that you guys are itching to watch here?
All right, I'll go through all three of mine right now. I got the Compound podcast, which we've always talked about. But if you want to get like a player's perspective of how they're dealing with the lockout, it's really a good way of figuring out what a player might think. Because like I said, Ian Happ in the major leagues, Zach Shorts in the major leagues, and then Dakota's kind of the minor league guy, kind of talking about all their experiences of what they're going through right now. Just doing the same thing that we're doing, waiting.
Yeah, and Zach, to that point, that podcast is phenomenal.
I love it.
Producer Tom they had went on a rant on this week's episode, and it's something I think we all have talked about. In the elimination of different minor league stuff, the elimination of 42 teams, and now they want to trim players out, and how I don't know about you guys, I fell in love with baseball going to minor league games. And I think he made an incredible point there. That is a great choice.
Just another way baseball is hurting itself.
Yep.
My second one is Seinfeld is on Netflix. I don't know how long this has been going on for, but I just found out about it, so I will be watching Seinfeld a bunch. I love that show. That show can be watched whenever, at any time. Like it was made in the 90s. And I still think it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Another good pick.
And then my third one is at the request of Boomy and his brother. I'm gonna watch New Girl. I've never watched it. I heard it's hilarious. I'm gonna give it a chance.
Good choice.
If anybody's watched it, and I'm gonna be starting it probably like Sunday when I'm hungover. I'm watching New Girl. Like that's it. It's
one of those shows
I didn't think I'd be watching this show, but they're kind of making me they're making it sound so funny. I have to watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those where like I never thought I would have enjoyed it. I used to make fun of my brother for it, and my wife watches it all the time. And then I started watching it, and it's very, very good. I'm a big fan, so I think you'll like
I'm single, and I'm gonna watch it by myself.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. Maddie, you got any three good ones?
Yeah, one thing I want to do first is get caught up on Ozark. I think I've got like half of the last season, and then the season was just released still to watch. So got to get caught up on that. There's a documentary one of my friends recommended called Icarus that I've heard good things about. So I'm gonna check that one out about the Russian doping scandal. I think the documentary came out a few years ago. I think it's like 2017 maybe. So I'm gonna check that out, and then I want to get into Succession. I've heard really good things about that show. Never seen an episode. Heard great things about it though, so I think I want to check that one out.
That show is so good, Maddie. You'll love it.
Yeah.
That was actually, I'll take that off my list. I was looking through HBO Max, and it's on there. So one from HBO Max that I'll put in its place that I had on my list is Silicon Valley. I don't know much about it. I've heard good things. And it's just kind of one of those, like you said, like people talk about it. You've heard about it for so long. I don't know much, but I'll give it a try. It's one of those I want to just, give it a couple episodes and just let it rip there. Have you guys seen any of that?
I have not, but that sounds like a good one to start watching. I don't have HBO Max.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing. And then Veep also on HBO Max. I love Larry David, and I believe he has something a little bit
like Arrested Development.
I don't really. I just know she's the vice president.
No, have you ever watched Arrested?
Oh yeah, every episode. Love Arrested.
Is that what it's kind of like?
That I don't know. All I know is she's the vice president. Is Julie Louis-Dreyfus. So, obviously you said about Seinfeld. So that was kind of one of those. I've had it on my list for a while. And last show I want to dive into. I got a bunch here. My lists are always way too long.
You're gonna disappoint me if you don't say it.
Well, I got to finish Peaky Blinders.
That's a good one because the last season's coming out
at
the end of the month. So you want to start watching it if you haven't watched it, or if you have watched it, rewatch it because that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I think I'm almost to season 3, and it's really nice, Zach. You said that because their seasons are only like 6 episodes. So
yeah, they're not very long, but they're 45 minutes episodes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's going to be one of my points to finish right there. And of course, World War II in HD, I'm going to rewatch again. So
That's unbelievable.
That show's amazing. I
I've
absolutely
watched some
love
of the like World War II in like color. It's like, whoa, it just
That's
doesn't
what.
seem
Yeah, I
real.
said HD. It's in color. Yeah, like it is crazy.
I was gonna say if you're watching TV, it's probably in HD.
Yeah, again for the third time, long week. I'm mixing up HD and color here. Okay.
That actually is a series, though. The World War
Yeah.
II
Okay.
in
I thought
HD.
so.
That was one. Now there's a different one, World War II in color. It's crazy, but there
Who
was a
we
new
knew.
one that
Who
was
we knew.
there was a new one that was just released on Netflix. I think
Maybe that's what you were
late
talking
at
about. You
the
could
end of
just gone with it.
2021.
Just
So
go
that
with
one, I
it.
think the first episode is Dunkirk. So that should be a good one.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Well, whether it's in HD or in color, I'm watching it. Okay. Give me all the HD, all the color. World War II. I'm getting into it. I think I've watched most of it, but I'm going to finish that up. Let's wrap things up. As always, we got a TCF top 3, and in honor of college basketball season, we know the tournament is right around the corner. So we're going to do our top 3 mid-major college teams. And for the sake of things, Matt, I don't think you're allowed to take Western Michigan, and I'm not allowed to take NIU. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. Does anybody want to start?
I'll go first.
All right, Zach, let's hear it.
Remember 2006, the Final Four. George Mason. George Mason is just. I mean, you'll see them playing every once in a while. I just remember them from that run, and their jerseys are just awesome.
Yes, that is a great choice right there. I was hoping someone would take them. The Patriots, I believe.
I got to get one of those jerseys.
Yeah, those are solid. Those are good. Matt, do you want to go second or do you want the turn around?
You can go.
All right. I am going to go with you put me on the spot here. Matt, I'm going to take our team, the Colorado State Rams, baby. Love the Ram, love the court, great color
Debatable
scheme.
mid-major. That's all I'm going to say. Mountain West is approaching like a tier above mid-major, but below the major.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'll give
That's
it to
fair.
you. They were on my list
All
of
right.
teams to consider, so don't worry.
Okay.
I'm not disputing you. I just think it's one of those that it's like a borderline, you know?
Right.
Like
It's not
by definition, you know, I could think of like many smaller schools that, you know, would be classified as that mid-major tier.
right. It's not Maryland Eastern Shore, you know.
Right.
That's a
But
mid-major.
again, I'll definitely give you Colorado State on that one. That being said,
If you take Gonzaga, I'm driving to.
it's the mid-major, is it not?
It is. That's very true.
I mean, what are we doing here,
No. That's true. I have nothing against. I
It's a
was
West
gonna
Coast team.
throw on my
It's a West
my
Coast
list.
Conference team. I'm going to take the Zags. It's a national title contender. I want them. I want the Yankees,
There's
the
nothing
Cowboys,
wrong with that.
Alabama.
Yeah,
There's nothing
you
wrong
took the
with that.
Yankees of college basketball there.
But I'm going to go complete oppo with my next one. I'm going to take Grand Canyon State or Grand Canyon
Antelope.
University, because that place and that gym, those fans look like it's at a fucking acid house like rave party at every game. It just looks absolutely bonkers.
Looks fun.
So,
Which
looks nuts. So I'm gonna.
Which is crazy that
it's like a fake university too. So
I'm pretty sure it's a Mormon university.
no, I think it was just created in like 2012. I think it's like basically.
Well, I know
Grand
it's
Canyon.
new. I know they went. I'm gonna have to look this up.
I just like the the place exploding with fans that look like they're in a rave. You know, prior to the game.
They do put on a good show, and they're not a bad team either. I'll go with my second round pick. Just because they have a great nickname, St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies. I just love the logo. I love the nickname. I'm going St. Bonaventure.
That's
a good one. I'm gonna go with Toledo. I just love Toledo.
I hate Toledo. Me and Matt probably both hate Toledo.
Yeah, I don't like Toledo.
That's their baseball.
That's
team,
their
right?
minor league team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Toledo, just love it.
And they've been pretty solid lately.
And then I'm gonna go with Belmont. I feel like they're just always in the tournament.
Yeah, they're also moving conferences too, I believe.
To where?
Aren't they the ones going to the Missouri Valley?
Maybe stepping up.
Yeah. Ohio Valley to the Missouri Valley, I'm pretty sure is the move there. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a good pick. They're always there. My final pick, I'm not necessarily going for teams that I think are going to do well. I'm going with teams I like. I'm going Wyoming Cowboys, all right? They're ranked in the country. I actually know someone on their men's coaching staff. Great dude.
Wait. Did you just say you're going with a team not just because they're good? And then you went with a team because they're good?
No. I said it helps that they are good. I
thought you said it the other way.
I said not just because they're good, but mainly because I know someone on the coaching staff there. I've been following them for a while.
They've been kind of a surprise this year too.
Yeah, they got ranked up to like 19, and they just dropped a hard one the other day. Been following way too much. They've actually won me a decent amount of money. Shout out Coach Sundance Wicks. He's the man. So I've been following them for a while. And I mean, brown and yellow. I mean, what an odd color combination. So I'll finish up with the Wyoming Cowboys. Matt, who you got to wrap it up?
I'm gonna go with the Mocs, the Chattanooga Choo Choo, UT Chattanooga. Yep. It's just a fun team. They've always it's just like they're always one of those teams that's dangerous in the tournament. It feels like they always got a chance to win a first, second round game. Usually, it's just, I don't know. It's a good vibe around that squad every time they're in the tournament. So I'm going to take Chattanooga.
And I think a lot of it goes when you come to mid-majors. It's all about like color scheme and nicknames on who you like, right?
Yeah.
The Drexel Dragons.
When you can do this anytime that something, good is happening on your team because you're the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Exactly. Not? I mean, the St. Louis Billikens, great nickname, weirdest mascot. The Furman Paladins. I mean, I could go down the list.
Furman Paladins is a good one. I like that one. I like Winthrop. I like College of Charleston holds a special place for me as well. But any of the Mountain West schools, San Diego State, I'm a Fresno State,
UC Santa Barbara Gauchos.
I'm a Keller Vine Anteaters guy myself. Hey. The Northridge Matadors. I think
the Matadors, yep.
Yeah, they got a sick logo too. So all those, the Bakersfields, the Cal Poly, Long
Richmond
Beach.
Spiders.
Yeah, Richmond Spiders a good one. VCU's a good one.
Zach's favorite mid-major team, the UAB Blazers.
Oh, what a good one.
Sodak, Nodak.
Booby's an idiot. Did anyone say Loyola?
No, we didn't. We definitely missed that one.
NIU, but
nah.
The Iona Gales.
Butler.
We did forget that one. That was a big miss.
Not bad. Creighton.
Vermont Catamounts.
Yeah.
Is UNLV technically a mid-major?
They're Mountain West, yeah.
Yeah. The Running Rebels.
They won the national championship one year, right?
Yeah, 90.
Vacated, I believe, wasn't it?
No. Only vacated title, I think, was Louisville, I believe.
Memphis. Oh no, they didn't win it.
Yeah,
Pretty sure Louisville under Patino was the only vacated title.
That's right. It was Tarkanian, and they were all just very shady. They just never got it.
Just shady enough. No, and they absolutely murdered Duke. So
yeah. Oh yeah, they were fun. They were fun to watch. Any others, boys?
I think that's about it.
Well, that is going to do it for episode 127 of Typical Chicago Fans. Thank you for checking in. Let us know your thoughts on anything. Send us some of your pick threes that you find when you're scouring the internet. Shout out to our sponsor.
Randy Moss was there. Marshall and Randy Moss they were popping then.
That is true. The Thunder and Herd. Shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure you check them out, connectroasters.com and at Connect Roasters on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Find us on Facebook, Instagram. Head to the YouTube page. Subscribe there. Apple Podcast. Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. You can follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, Zach at Z, Lilia TCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Thank you for joining us. That was episode 127 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.